stories that I'm really, really interested in. Just as a consumer, I'm a fan now. Number one, my 5 most interesting quarterbacks, the Caleb Williams thing is fascinating. He's polarizing. The Bears have a coach on the hot seat. The Bears are the only NFL franchise that's never had a 4,000-yard passer. They've done defense well a lot of years. Could this kid be their Jordan? Could he be the guy that literally changes the franchise? He is really talented. I don't know the answer. I think he's going to be productive. I don't know if he wins a lot of games this year. The schedule's pretty tough. The Packers, Lions, Vikings, all capable. This kid will get me to the 1 o'clock window on Fox. Second is Aaron Rodgers. This season could help kind of cement his career. We know he's talented, but a little prickly, calling out his coach occasionally. Don't love that. Missed a little OTA in Egypt. Don't love it. Not the end of the world. Robert Saleh, Nat Hackett on the hot seat. There's a lot of combustible stuff going on. I'm crossing my fingers he stays upright. They're rebuilding the offensive line with potentially a rookie getting big snaps. Can Elijah Vera Tucker stay healthy? He needs protection. Aaron's it too. Listen, I'd put Patrick Mahomes going to try to do something Tom Brady and Joe Montana couldn't do. Win a 3rd straight Super Bowl. It's been a very noisy offseason. I still think their wide receiver group is a bunch of question marks and not a lot of answers. But if anybody can do it, it's him. Can he become the first ever back-to-back-to-back Super Bowl winning quarterback? Certainly got the talent. Number 4, Justin Herbert. Don't have a playoff win, but damn, he's good. Now he finally gets an elite coach. He's out of a walking boot, reportedly this morning. He's ready to roll. They don't have much at wide receiver. They're hoping that kid out of Georgia, 2nd rounder, can work. He's one of these kids. He was sensational as a rookie. He had Shane Steichen, and we're just kind of waiting for him to pop. He's the last young quarterback that we all think is good, and we're waiting for stuff beyond stats. He'd be number 4. And number 5, the mercurial Russell Wilson. I don't know what to make of it. He literally was so good in Seattle. He got guys like Johnny Manziel, Baker Mayfield drafted, and I don't know what's happened to his career. He got teammates calling him out. Sean Payton and Pete Carroll dumped him. It's a weird career, but I'm really excited to watch it. Hi, everybody.
Okay, so I don't think that there's anything wrong with that list, and I didn't see this list, but I figured, okay, I could see the title, top 5 most interesting quarterbacks, whatever, and so I actually did something that I don't ever do. Real quickly, I did it right before this video. I was like, you know what, who are my most interesting quarterbacks that I think, and so I wrote it down, which I'll go through in a moment. But I just wanted to address a few things. Like, first, again, I don't think there's anything wrong with his list, right? Because I think this is truly opinion based, right? It's just kind of like kind of Colin said at the beginning. It's just like, I'm just looking at this as a fan. What am I most interested to see? And so I think that, the list as a whole is fine. I wish I could see the whole list at once. We were Caleb, Aaron, Patrick, Justin, and Russell Wilson. Quite frankly, I'm not that interested in Russell Wilson. I'm just really not. Justin Herbert, I think he is an elite talent and will be elite, but I'm not saying that Justin Herbert needs to have an amazing season this year, his first year with Harbaugh, with the team that still obviously clearly is rebuilding and needs to make some moves. So I'm just like, my opinion of Justin Herbert, quite frankly, is not going to change this year. And then Patrick Mahomes, he said, oh, Patrick Mahomes is trying to do something that Tom Brady couldn't. I don't see it as that. It's not that Tom Brady couldn't win back to back to back. It's just that it didn't happen. There's a difference. There's a real difference in that. And I'm on the record. Listen, I think Patrick Mahomes is one of the greatest quarterbacks I've ever seen and will retire as, either number 1 or number 2, however you want to slice it. I think you'll probably never really ever get to a true conclusion, just like Michael Jordan and LeBron James. But I'm a massive Patrick Mahomes fan. But I'm on the record saying, listen, it would be awesome to see him win back to back to back. But my opinion's not going to change based on him doing it or not. If he doesn't win this year, but then wins next year, I'm not going to say, well, that would have been more impressive if he won last year. I'm not going to do that. It doesn't matter as much to me personally, just as Colin said, as a fan. So I'm not locked in to be like, oh my God, can he do it? Can he do it? Because it's not just him, it's the team as a whole. So I think that's more impressive as a team than just on Patrick Mahomes individually. So it's quite frankly, it's not the most interesting story to me. It's not a top 5 interesting storyline to me personally. And then Aaron Rodgers, yeah. listen, I'm also high on Aaron Rodgers and think he could have great success. And if I extended this, because I did name 6 people, and I guess I could put him on the 7th list as well. But again, my opinion also won't change too much of him. For me, the names that I put there is because I'm trying to confirm how I've already felt, or I'm looking for my opinion to be crafted, right? Once I have a solid opinion on something, like Patrick Mahomes is a perfect example. Patrick Mahomes is already next level, all-time great elite to me. So I'm interested in like kind of a different story now. I'm kind of like, well, what else do you got for me? I've reached my conclusion on him, and I'm going to continue to watch him, but he's not someone at this point where I'm just like, I got to see, because he's not going to change my perspective of who he is. Unless he does something next level, and if he does, then it's just going to find me. I won't have to find it. And then now, so that leads to Caleb Williams, who I do have on my list, right? Because I am excited to see who is he going to be. Can he do something this first year that we've never seen? Can he lead this team, the Chicago Bears? Can he get 4,000 plus yards? Can he get to a Super Bowl? Can he win a Super Bowl? Is Caleb Williams truly this generational talent that we've never seen before, where he can already prove this year to be on a better trajectory than none other than the Patrick Mahomes? That excites me. That I'm excited to see. Then my other quarterback, and this is not a list. The names that I'm going to start naming for me are not in any particular order. It's just names. I then got Jalen Hurts, right? Jalen Hurts just a couple years ago was on top of the NFL world, outdueling Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, having one of the greatest, literally statistically, one of the greatest Super Bowl performances of all time in a Super Bowl. Right? Just on top of the world, was going to win the MVP, but got banged up and then wasn't able to bring it home. Then started off the season hot, at least the team did, with all those wins, 10-1, but clearly just wasn't right. Clearly something was wrong, and then now he's fallen from grace, right? A lot of people had him top 3, and now he's not even in many people's top 10s, and I'm really fascinated to see what will Jalen Hurts look like this year. New coordinating, new defense, new offense, just new. And I'm really excited to see what he can do. Because I think Jalen Hurts, when you do link him with a legitimate play caller, and if he can recapture what was happening in 22, especially because a lot of people are trying to call 22 a random year, like an outlier year, which I disagree with. And so I'm curious to see, can he prove those people wrong? An exciting storyline. CJ Stroud. Was he a one-hit wonder? Is the Texans are going all in. I mean, like, they're doing everything they can to support CJ Stroud and the Texans team as a whole. And can they actually legitimately fight for the AFC Championship? Can they fight for a Super Bowl? That's wildly exciting to me. The pieces that they've added, establishing the run game, getting Diggs. CJ Stroud as a whole should just be getting better just because he's getting more mature, more experienced. He's someone who I have at the top of the list for MVP candidate. I'm really excited to see how that comes about. Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix has been sensational in the preseason and is proving to be a legitimate quarterback in the NFL. Obviously it's preseason, but many people, Nick Wright included, are saying that Bo Nix is essentially trash. I mean, he's not saying it exactly that, and so I don't want to, put a take on his name that's not accurate, but that is essentially what he's saying. He's saying Bo Nix is like the 3rd best quarterback for the Broncos, right? I mean, like, he's saying that it was an absolute waste that they considered drafting him, but let alone actually drafting him. And so I think Bo Nix is proving to be potentially a great quarterback. And it's just like, what will him and Sean Payton look like? Can they be a breakout team like the Houston Texans were last season? Then you got Jordan Love. Jordan Love was the best quarterback in the final 10 games of the season, was playing out of his mind with the iconic Green Bay Packers. Will they be able to continue that momentum? Will Jordan Love continue to get better? Because if he actually continues to play like he played in those last 10 games, he's the best quarterback in the NFL. I mean, that's literally how he was playing. And if he continues to be that quarterback, then it's like, oh my God, I think, Jordan Love is another quarterback that people are very high on, but also like, let's see what he can do. Let's see. We still have to kind of wait and see a little bit. And it's like, if he now can continue to ball out, there won't be no more of just saying, well, let's see. We'll be like, he is a top quarterback and, exciting. And because if he is, then I think the Packers have a fantastic chance of getting to the NFC Championship game, getting to the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl. And then Jayden Daniels. The Commanders have been nothing for, my God, what is it now? Like 10, 15 years, maybe longer. I mean, like they've just been nothing. And for many of you outside of obviously like legit Commanders fans, like the Commanders are an iconic, massive franchise with one of the largest fan bases, as well as they're worth, I can't think of the correct word, but they're they're one of the most valuable franchises in the NFL. And they haven't had a quarterback to carry that. They haven't had the coaching right. They haven't had the right owner. The media, for the large part, has abandoned them because of ownership more than anything. They've just always been, and anytime they are in the media, it's for bad news, right? Like bad things. And just like how Caleb Williams is being kind of seen as the person as the quarterback who's going to finally change the story for the modern tale of the Chicago Bears, I believe that Jayden has that potential with the Commanders. And it's like, what can Jayden do in the NFL? I'm really, really excited to see how that unfolds. So yeah, Caleb, Jalen, Stroud, Bo Nix, Love, and Jayden Daniels. I'm excited. Those are the storylines that I think, at least for most interesting quarterbacks, I shouldn't just say storylines, but just quarterbacks in general. I'm sure I'm leaving some stuff off because, again, at the end of the day, I'm excited to see what Tua can do. Can Trevor Lawrence prove that he's actually a top quarterback in the NFL? Will Lamar Jackson bounce back from his playoff loss? Can he finally prove to get over the hump and get to a Super Bowl? What will Josh Allen do, with his situation? Like, so I can slice it however, I can, find any story to be interested by, but if you were forcing me to ask, because apparently the media just loves these top lists, which I personally don't, but hey, that's what people want. I'll try my best to deliver it as well. That's not my top 5, it's my top 6, and those are just my names. But I would absolutely love to hear yours. What do you think about my list? What do you think about Colin's list? What about some quarterbacks on your list? If you have a list, lots of lists going around, let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.